Close your eyes and take your energy up 300 feet above your head where you see, sense, or know the truth. Where you see, sense, or know the truth. Now, for those of you who might tend to overthink things, we all naturally go there when we pray. So when we pray, we naturally take our energy up. We naturally sort of look up, kind of pray to God in a way. We take our energy up and we connect to the light and we start letting it in. So allow this light to come into your crown area, opening up all of your connections so that you are willing and able to receive the truth. Okay, and so some of you just might imagine a big sunshine kind of lighting you up, and some of you might see like this big rain shower of light coming into your body. And allow this light to come into your third eye, opening up so that you can see the truth. So allow this light to just come in there and kind of wipe away all the darkness so that you can see the truth, and allow the light to come into your ears so you can hear the truth. And allow this higher vibrational light to come into your throat, opening up the communication centers between your heart and your head so that you can speak the truth to yourself. And allow this light to come into your heart area. Okay, and allow the light to come into your heart, washing away any fear or unloved energy. Okay, any pain. Okay, and allow the light to come into your solar plexus, washing away anywhere you feel a little distrustful or sucker punched or taken aback or shocked by this planet. Okay, and allow the light to come into your stomach area, washing away anywhere you feel disempowered, anywhere you feel like you can't go forward, anywhere you feel a little fearful or angry or off track. And then allow the light to come into your root, washing away anywhere you can't really stand in your own truth. So now this light is just kind of running through your body, and allow it to run through your legs, in your feet, and into the ground. And just take this energy, like imagine there's a big tube of light and it goes into the center of the planet. And believe it or not, there's actually light in the center of the planet, like in a dimension. It's kind of a dimensional light. Some might see it as a crystal, or some might see it as a big sunshine, but it's this light that feels like mother's love, that feels like, hey, I'm here to support you. And we need to fill you up with that so that you can trust yourself. So allow this light that's from the center of the planet, allow it to just kind of envelope you. And, just imagine it's an elevator and it just comes right back up your feet, your hips, your stomach, into your heart. Okay, and imagine that it's just going to engulf your heart with this energy of mother's supportive love, that you're always cared for, you're always safe. And now remember how I said that the higher vibration, the lover above energy, has to be expanded, right? In order for you to get over your blocks, it has to be expanded. So I want you to take this energy from your heart and imagine that it's a big sunshine and you're being filled up from above and below, and you're taking this light in your heart and you're pushing it out, radiating it out, 360 degrees out, 3 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet. And you can see you can make it as big as you want. You can even make it bigger than the planet if you want. And I'm going to ask you guys now from this space, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to trust whatever pops in your head. So remember earlier, I asked you to get a number in your head about what your average amount of income is that you will allow yourself to manifest. Okay, and whatever that number is, I want you to ask yourself this question. At what age did I first decide that that was my limit, that that was the only amount of money I could make? And an age should pop into your head. And I want you to see that you sometimes actually buy these beliefs from your mom and dad. So did you buy this initial belief from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or from somebody else? Okay, and some of you might feel it's starting to shift already just because you're in a higher vibration and you're looking at it. And I want you to notice that it actually has an emotion to it. Okay, so does this limit have any emotion tied to it? For some of you, it will. Okay, and what is the emotion? Fear, worry, anger? I hate money, any of those things? Okay, all right, so everything that created that, okay, so all the stories, all the moments that you believed that this is the truth, or decided or felt that this was the truth, will you please transmute and clear it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? I sometimes say de-story it, so you're taking the story out of it, so de-story it and clear it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, and do it one more time. Okay, please de-story it, delete it, transmute it, clear it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. All right, and I'm going to ask you this another question. All right, so in order to manifest abundance, you have to be an amazing receiver. Like you have to be willing to receive the positive, abundant energy. So ask yourself, at what age did you start turning down your ability to receive? At what age did you start turning down your ability to receive? And did you pick that up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or from someone else? Okay, so everything that created this, so all the stories, all the mixed up emotions, all the pent up energies that you've pulled into your energy field, will you please clear and delete it and de-story it and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Okay, one more time. Will you please de-story it, delete it, yep, clear it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Okay, so now another part of being an amazing manifester of abundance is you have to be willing to ask for things. You have to be willing to ask the universe and tell the universe, hey, here's what I really want. You have to be willing to dream big again. And so I want you to ask yourself, at what age is the first age that you started not asking for things anymore? So at what age is the first age that you started not asking for things anymore? Or you turned down what you ask for because you're afraid you're going to be told no. Okay, and did you pick that energy up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or from someone else? And whatever first pops into your head, that's the awareness. And it might not make sense. Some of you might think of an event when this occurs. Some of you might not remember what the event is. And it's okay. It got stirred up. Okay, so everything that's contained in this file folder, everything that's contained in this story or this event or these events, I want you to delete and de-story them, transmute and clear them across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Just delete and de-story them, clear them and transmute them across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Now, some of you might be having some physical symptoms. You might be yawning, or you might feel just lighter. You might feel a little different, whatever you label it. Okay, so any other heaviness that's associated with this money thing, yep, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And I'm going to ask one more question. At what age is the first age that you decided that there was something wrong with money? Like maybe money was bad, or money was evil, or money created fights in your family. So at what age was the first age that you decided that there was something wrong with money? Okay, did you pick that energy up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or from someone else? Okay, all right, so everything that created that, will you clear and transmute it, delete and de-story it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Okay, please clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, so now I want you guys to just really picture that you're filling yourself in with so much light, okay? So all those little places in yourself that we've kind of created this extra space now because it was filled with those old stories, I want you to just fill in right now with light from above and below, kind of like a fire hose. And then again, just see this radiating out, you know, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. And when you're ready, just kind of open your eyes, knowing that you have cleared some underlying subconscious stuff about money. Being able to witness what people's blocks were, I'm always like a perfectionist, looking for the shortcut, trying to figure out how I could help the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. I basically learned that there's about 24 main blocks that pretty much everyone has in their life that are blocking them. I guide everyone through what these main blocks are so that they themselves can understand why they got it and then have the tools to actually clear it. So if any of you guys had something pop up, for instance, of, hey, I'm not a really good receiver of things, or hey, I'm not a really good asker of things, I realized I quit asking, then these tools are for you.
So when I hosted the Unlimited Abundance Journey, I was forced in a way, which was very disheartening for me because everybody who knows me knows that I'm generous and I love to give and all that. But I was forced to turn down thousands of people. And so we really want to make this available because I want you guys to have your abundance blocks cleared. So here's what we've done. I hosted the Unlimited Abundance Journey. I recorded every session and I made them into a whole program that you can consume at the comfort of your own home. Now, I want you guys to also realize, though, there was a lot of people from around the world that heard this Unlimited Abundance Journey, and they didn't have time to get in on the live coaching call. So they used the same exact recordings that I'm inviting you guys to try out, and they had spectacular results just by listening to the recording. So I want to be really clear about that because I had everybody from Australia and England and Dubai and all over the world who consumed this. I kind of checked in on that. I looked at all the emails and kind of matched them up with where they were and looked at how much they listened live because I was curious myself, and I pretty much got the same reports back. You can think of it as an immersive, complete version of the energy clearing session that we just went through. You know, we only did that for about 15 minutes, so it's like an hour and 25 of those, and you get the exact same results, in my opinion, as a real life one-on-one consultation with me. If you listen to 2 sessions, let's just say you wanted to go for it and listen to both sessions a week, just like everybody else did, that's only 20 minutes a day. So you can listen to 10 in the morning and 10 before you go to bed. Or put it on your iPad and you're waiting for your kid at school in the parking lot, put it on for 10 minutes. And then they'll love you because your energy will be different. Some people actually, as soon as they said yes to Unlimited Abundance Journey, manifested that. Teresa, she's one such client. As soon as she said yes to it, she got a letter randomly from her bank, basically saying they dropped her mortgage. And she never asked for it. She doesn't know why they did it still. She didn't want to call them and alert them. But she said it was because she said yes to Unlimited Abundance and the doorway opened. In working with so many people, I've kind of got it down to a little bit of what are the 25 main ones, but I think everybody has little different trajectories, and that's why I wanted to do Unlimited Abundance, because we have 400 people on a call, 200 at a time, and we're literally clearing all the little trajectories of each block, because not everybody struggled the same. So if you had one way that you struggled, and I had one way I struggled, all that energy in the collective is there, and we blow all of it up for everybody, even the ones that we don't even know that we have. So it's really cool.
And there's a reason I do these things in a certain order too. So module number 1, the first block is usually about resistance. Some of you might not know that you bought into a whole bunch of lies about what's possible, and these are going to create a drag on your energy system. So in module number 1, we talk about clearing this resistance so that you're actually primed and ready to go to the next level. Then what'll happen is, kind of going up the scale a little bit, you'll have some blocks on doubt and fear. I call them cross purposes, where you guys kind of say, yes, I want abundance, but then there's this other part of you that's saying, no, but not that much, or, oh, but if I have it, then I won't be able to handle it. You'll have all these funny other little things that will crop up in the way. We clear that in that module. Then we clear block number 3, fear of change, because some people are very set in their ways. So if all of a sudden you say, I want to have a beach life, but secretly you love hanging out with your family who lives in England, then that fear of change could be a block in you manifesting your happy beach house life. Abundance block number 4, I help you guys get over the money zapping decisions that you've been making. A lot of people just basically have made a lot of bad money choices, and they're kind of stuck in some shame and guilt about all that. And so we clear that in abundance block number 4. Abundance block number 5, there's a fear of growth. Okay, so some people are okay with change, a certain amount of change, but what about huge amount of growth, or really completely different life in some cases? I've actually transformed my life 3 times, and I noticed it takes about 90 days. In my life, I've had one life, and then all of a sudden I decide I want another life, and then 90 days later it looks different. But if I was afraid of growth, I would have probably tortured myself for a year and slowed the whole thing down. So abundance block number 6, clearing the fear of success. Some people really don't know what it's like maybe even to have success, so you don't even know if you're going to like it. I have a lot of people who say, Christy, I don't know what to choose because I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I will say, why don't you just choose something? And if you get it and you don't like it, then re-choose. There's no wrongness about it. And a lot of people aren't used to it. Sometimes we fear a little bit of like the unknown in a way with the success, you know, with the success do a bunch more problems come, right? Or some people just the unknown of it will be a block. Abundance block number 7, clearing the fear of rejection. A lot of people, they won't go for things or ask for things because they fear that somebody's going to tell them no, or somebody's going to reject them, or their family isn't going to like what they're turning into, etc., etc. So they just won't even go for things. And so we need to clear that. Abundance block number 8. This is a funny story. Clearing the fear of numbers. And I had this accountant who did this abundance block. She sent me an email and she said, Christy, I realized I absolutely hate numbers. But this starts clearing like your willingness to really look at where you're at and then kind of look at, okay, what do you really actually want? Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Wouldn't it be cool if you lived off of 30% of your income and you just save the rest, or whatever it is, invest the rest? Abundance block number 9, clearing indecision. A lot of people are indecisive. They're like, oh, but I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and then they don't choose anything. Or some people are, I just want to be happy, but they don't actually know what that would look like in their daily life. And I will say, you have to choose something. You could even use the tools to ask the universe to show you what it would take for you to be happy. And then that could start clarifying for you what your decisions are that you want to do. But the more clear you are, the faster the speed of manifesting. Abundance block number 10, clearing feeling stuck. Okay, there's a stuck kind of confused energy that people have. And that's because they sometimes have these values that are contradictory. Maybe they want to be kind of famous at some level, but they might have this other value that says, yeah, but I really like my private time and I don't like people knowing about me. Those two contradictory things could create you being kind of stuck. I just clear all those beliefs about it so you can actually make a free will choice, not based on past experiences. Abundance block 11. So now that you kind of know where you're stuck, now we want you to get really clear about your values so that you can choose it and get back up on that super highway. And so your manifesting really works. Abundance block number 12 is getting clear on the future. I teach you how to tap into your intuition and start looking into the future and saying, okay, if I chose this future, what would it really look like for me? And then you get to try it on. You get to kind of try on your future self and see if you like that choice. Again, it's one more means of helping you guys get clear. Abundance block 13, clearing the clutter. Part of manifesting is taking some form of action, and sometimes the clutter that we have in our life, like our emails, our house, our bills that we haven't opened in, 10 years, etc., are actually a block that's stopping us from getting to the next level. And I help you guys get over dealing with that stuff. Block 14 is about clearing family blocks. So I help people get to the truth behind your weirdness. I think you don't have to be normal. Forget normal. It's usually our family that we mimic, and I want you guys to be your version of you at the most abundant level. Abundance block number 15, clearing any blame. A lot of us have like secret little victim that kind of comes out and starts zapping us. It's not my fault, or it was there and their fault, and you might be stuck in some traumatic incidences that have happened in your life that you need to shift. And so in block number 15, we do that for you. Abundance block 16, discover the ultimate you. I actually teach you how to access the highest version of yourself so that you really do know what he or she feels like and is like, so that once you know what that is, it's easier to go there. Again, it's another tool to get you back on that super highway. Abundance block number 17, generating your future self. Now that you've kind of tried yourself on and you've tried on a few different versions of yourself, in block number 17, it's not really a block, it's actually teaching you guys how to generate your future self and connecting to him or her, and in a funny way, like letting them guide you into the future. Once you're kind of open to things, your higher self, this infinite part of you, will kind of drag you along, even if parts of you aren't totally clear or fixed yet. Block number 18, now that you've found where you have blocks and things like this, but what if some of these blocks could be transformed into profit? What if just one little shift of a block all of a sudden kind of opens up this whole other profit stream? And so I teach you guys how to live in the energy of profiting. Abundance block number 19, clearing self-sabotage. You've cleared a lot of blocks, and sometimes people still have some hidden kind of secret sabotage stuff that's going on. And now that you've kind of peeled off these onion layers of stuff, if there's anything still resonating there, I want to get to it. And so I help you guys find out what those things are and clear them for good. Abundance block number 20, clearing your lack of self-worth. Sometimes you guys might be doing the tools along the way on this journey, but there's still kind of something where you really haven't fully owned who you are or bumped into yourself. And that just might be some block that happened usually in childhood under the age of 7. You've imprinted this part of yourself that maybe is I'm not lovable or I'm not good enough, etc., etc. So we clear that up. Abundance block 21, clearing up any financial messes. Sometimes we have like these messy parts of our life that we still don't really want to look at. And in Abundance block 21, we cover that and get that out of you for good. Abundance block 22, we clear the financial illusions. This is kind of like I teach you guys again to be very intuitive and kind of picture which sort of alignment really meets your flow. My income bumped up dramatically a long time ago when I decided I'm only going to live off of 30% of my income. And so what happened is my expenses stayed the same, but my income increased. So there's these cool little ways that you can tweak your reality in a way that shift those things. Abundance block number 23, clearing any fear of scarcity. So now that you're filled with light, you've cleared a lot of blocks. Sometimes people have this kind of value system where you think that there's not enough to go around, or if I ask for too much, I've heard this before from clients, if I ask for too much, and everybody on the planet gets rich, then there's still not enough. And I say, if everybody on the planet got rich, not everybody is going to ask for the same thing. Like some people want to go live, maybe on a mountain doing the eco version of life. Some people want to have the big house, etc., etc. Not everyone's dream of abundance is going to be the same. I could totally live in hotels and be completely fine and happy. So for everyone, that's going to look different. There's plenty to go around. And abundance block number 24, clearing the blocks to welcoming abundance. So any other secret talent that you guys have hidden from yourself about manifesting money, about creating contribution in the world, about living your life purpose, about sharing who you are with the world and getting paid for it. That's what we clear in block number 24. So you guys, I'm telling you, this is a completely transforming, all-inclusive life experience. Just try this on and ask, if I do this course, will it make me more money than the money that I'm going to invest in it? I've never had anybody email me and say no. Here's one client. She said, I made over $20,000. When I first started the program, I was financially devastated, spent all her inheritance money, and I was going into the equity in my home that I live in. I had to rent my house to stop the financial bleeding with my friends. The 4th week of the Unlimited Abundance, I had a miracle. A woman called me out of the blue wanting to work with me. Since then, I've made over $20,000, which enabled me to pay off my credit card and put money back into my savings and move into the house. Then she kind of talks about how she forgot her passport at customs, and she used the tools to get through customs easily and effortlessly. And she was saying, now I'm working on manifesting the man of my dreams, and for the first time I'm hopeful that I'm going to meet somebody. And I have like other cool stories like Karen. Karen was like a mom with 5 kids. So she had to manifest a job that was stay at home that she could do from home. So she said at the beginning of the course, her intention was to 2 to 3 days part-time and just make some extra cash to pay the bills. And she said basically within 1 month, she's doubled the household income. She says, you have to understand, I'm a stay-at-home mom. She goes, but what happened was I went from working 2 days to 3 days to full-time in the space of 4 weeks. It's really flexible. My boss was really cool, a great mentor. She said I was doing all the energy work on abundance for me, which increased her boss's flow of customers, which then increased her job requirements. And then she said, my husband is also getting new customers. She goes, it's like I'm manifesting on their behalf. It's kind of cool. Like I've even had stories of people who hadn't talked to their teenagers, like one fellow from Hawaii, John. There was like a bitter divorce, hadn't talked to his daughter. When he was clearing his own money blocks and the money blocks that happen with the divorce and all this kind of stuff, he kept putting this energy around her that she clears all of her blocks from the divorce and from money and et cetera, et cetera. And basically what happened is they're back in a relationship. He's like, I have my daughter back. And he even manifested that she spiritually wake up, and the next week she got invited to some spiritual retreat, and she was so excited about it. So you can even use these tools to positively impact your family in ways.
Let's just cut to Natalie. She's been in contact with me because she keeps sending me all these like love notes about the cool things that have been happening to her. So let's go to Natalie.
I'm a real estate broker in Utah, and so before the journey, one thing that I struggled with was constantly worrying about new business how I was going to get it, those sorts of things. And in the journey, you had taught some specific techniques to kind of clear some of the blocks that, we would have, and me particularly, and in my business. And, after a couple of sessions, there were some clearings that you had done, one particularly that would bring people, local, state, or on a national level to you for whatever service or whatever you do, for financial compensation. And the very next day after that clearing, I got a phone call from a large servicing company in our area who had been using another agent for like 20 years for their relocation department. And they basically called me out of the blue to inform me that I was going to be their new relocation agent, which from the time that I got that call to where I'm at now, I've had 3 transactions, which is totaling about $15,000 of commission. And there's future business there because I'm now their designated agent, which was really cool because I've been trying to get in with them for like 7 years. Another exciting thing that happened for me is when you were teaching the technique of asking the question, like, what would it take? And so I focused on a specific client that I wanted. It was a larger, client, because one of my focuses is helping this community grow. So within a week after putting that intention out there, I get a phone call out of the blue from a seller who wants me to list a property, and it's a $4 million listing. I was really excited because obviously what I was doing was working. I was in competition with another agent who was telling them that they could list the price or list the property 3 times what I was telling them they could list it for. They ended up listing it with me. They've priced the property to sell. It's a $4 million listing, and when that property sells, it'll be about a $240,000 commission. And I've been working on it since I've taken that listing and putting the intention out there to find the buyer. So I'm on both sides of the transaction, so I will get the $240,000 commission. So many other cool things have been happening around my business. So my income increased dramatically just by using these techniques that I can kind of get out of my own way, if that makes sense, clearing some of the blocks, clearing things that were holding me back for as long as I've been doing what I'm doing. And I've just had this, floodgate open this year, and it's been things specifically tied around, participating in the unlimited abundance journey.
Wow, that's an amazing story, Natalie. And I am curious, the person that called you out of the blue, how long did that take once you were in the journey before they showed up and said, hey, you're our listing agent now?
It was the very next day. Like you had done a clearing the night before. It was like it was a Sunday night. And the clearing was specifically when we were talking about financial abundance, and it was a clearing around opening up people who may have not known that you were there before. If I get paid by the service that I offer. So this clearing, on a local, national, and state level, literally the very next day. I mean, I got into the office. I was at work for maybe a half an hour to an hour, and my phone rang. And I looked at my phone because I was on the other line. I looked at my cell phone, and I'm like, that name looks so familiar. And it ended up going to voicemail, so I checked the message, and it was this company. And I literally about fell out of my chair because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the company I've been trying to get in with for 7 years. And every time I would talk to them before, they would completely shut me down. We already have an agent. We're happy with our agent. And then for them to call me and say, hey, by the way, you are now our new relocation agent. And I got 3 deals within first month of that, which, like I said, was about $15,000 worth of commission.
You sent me an email, and I think you said that December is one of your biggest months you've ever had?
Yeah, which is crazy because December is normally a really slow month because we live in northern Utah, and it gets really cold here, and people just tend to not want to move in the wintertime. But, I've continued to use the techniques that I've learned, and I will close out the year with one of my biggest months in the year. Like I said, last year, I was around $75,000 total for the year. This year, after my closings in December, I will be at about $300,000. And everybody asks me, what are you doing different? What, are you making more phone calls? Are you, knocking on more doors? And it's like, no, I'm not. Literally, these people are coming to me. It's been the worry in my line of work has completely gone away. I don't worry anymore. I just put the intention out there. I ask the questions that I need to ask. I just try to get out of my own way and use the techniques that I learned through the journey. They were amazing.
Oh, thank you. So for anybody who's still a little on the fence or skeptical, what would you say to them?
I would say do it. I wouldn't even, I remember when I first signed up, I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. It's a good chunk of money, but hands down, I got the best return on my investment. I would do it over and over again. And anybody who's thinking about it, take it from me, personal experience. I've grown so much in the last year, and I will attribute that growth to the journeys that I participated in.
Oh, awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate you very much.
Here's Janie.
The biggest thing is that my life is more expansive. I'm just like stepping out in areas that I never even imagined to do it. I'll give you an example. I think it was about 6 weeks into the course, and all of a sudden I was negotiating with this woman over something. And I mean, it was a big ticket thing. I've never negotiated or bartered in my life. Never thought to do it. Just, what's the price? Pay the price. And I said, what would it take?
So you use the secret formula.
I know. This is my favorite thing. What would it take if we maybe could work it out like this? I gave her a couple of options that just kind of popped out of my head, and she just said, that'd be great. That's fine. Yeah, that'd be great. And it ended up saving me $5,000, and that was so amazed.
Right, because it was sort of part of your energy now. So you just randomly said, what would it take for this to happen? And then it was part of you'd embodied it probably at that time. I mean, that's what I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's what I kind of
you're
assumed.
Right. It was just a natural part of me. And I think that exemplifies what I was like before was just sort of gone.
So you just go with the flow, and whatever somebody, say, hey, it's this much, you just pay it. And then after you're like, no, I can create my reality, so let me see if I can change this.
And I did it in a way that she just loved it.
Oh.
It was like a win-win. I felt really, really good about it. It's really affected every area of my life. I can't tell you enough how much more expansive my life is. So I'll give you one more example. I have a broker who manages my money. I'm married, but my husband is ill. I've done this for a couple of years now, and I used to just let him just do whatever he wanted to, and I never questioned what he did. I never even read the reports, and I found myself reading the investment reports that he would send me. I also started using the energy statements. What would it take for my portfolio to double?
Wow. I love it. So you became
for all of my investments and all of the investments of all of his clients to grow 100% and more. And then I started actually studying investments, and I started reading all these hard copy newsletters, e-newsletters, and all that kind of stuff. And I started paying attention to what was going on in our country, around the world, globally, and I just started educating myself. So I started actually working with my broker, found things that had gone unnoticed by him, and that gave me more confidence to make more suggestions, and I've changed the dynamics of my portfolio. And I'll tell you, I had always been afraid to handle money like that. It was comfortable with him taking the risk, and he was risking my money. So I think through Unlimited Abundance course, I got it, that it was my money. I was responsible for my money. It helped me so much.
If you could quantify how much money you've actually made while doing Unlimited Abundance Journey, how much would you say that you've earned above it?
I know that by the end of the course, I had either made or saved $16,000 loosely. I'm so grateful to have found that course and to have been in it, Christy. I mean, I can't tell you what a big difference it's made in my life.
So if anybody was a skeptic, what would you say to them?
Do it. Just do it. Just do it. It'll change your life in so many ways you can't even imagine.
My favorite thing in the whole world is watching people expand and actually get what they want. I mean, to me, it's just like Christmas every day when I get to open up my inbox and I see all these amazing testimonies by people going, wow, it really worked for me. I had a couple other stories. I'm going to just share them really quickly because, again, I literally get hundreds of these. And so sometimes people are going, oh my God, like, really that happened? And I'm like, yeah, and I have hundreds of them. Margaret from Australia said she used to have a certain belief that she had to struggle and that money would always leave her or something. And she said she had started going through, listen to this, she had manifested a long time ago $125,000 inheritance, and she started going through it. She sold her investment properties, she sold her gold, and she was blowing all her money. Her small business was spending more than it was bringing in. 3 credit cards were maxed out. And since starting the journey, she sold the business, which enabled them to pay off all their debts and buy a second car with cash. Her husband started working full time, but he loves it. It was a great job, and he makes a larger salary than he'd ever made before because she wanted to restructure so they could bring in abundance. She won some money in the lottery, which is always fun. And they finally took a vacation that they hadn't taken in years. They took a nice, lovely 5-day vacation. They figured out how to do it on literally like $1,000. It was really cheap. She said that she did her taxes finally. She'd been procrastinating. She got $5,000 back, and she's now setting up a whole new business. And she says she's already been making it profitable, signing up people for seminars. So all of that happened. I mean, seriously, that's like a whirlwind, right? Within 3 months. There's only one more, and this is such a doozy that I wasn't sure people would, sometimes people hear these doozies and they're like, oh, that's just a fluke. But you have to understand, I have tons of these. But here's Anne. Okay, so the only reason she joined Unlimited Abundance Journey was because her and her husband were wealthy at one time. But what happened when the real estate market crashed, they had a bunch of store spaces and they couldn't rent out those spaces. So they were blowing through money, and they didn't really have any option because they couldn't sell the property because it wasn't worth anything, and they couldn't lease it out, and nobody wanted to pay those high rents that they used to. And she had no clue what they were going to do because this was a family business. So it would take the whole family down, her and her 2 kids and her husband. So she set an intent that no matter what, she was going to lease these spaces. Now, in the middle of the journey, she really got the download that the broker was not cool. Okay, so she took massive action, because that was one of the blocks that we cleared about taking massive action, and changed brokers. And she followed her intuition, and that's how she found the broker. And literally, like the last week of Unlimited Abundance Journey, she leased 2 of those spaces, and one of those spaces, the biggest one, leased at a really good price for a 10-year period, and that contract alone will bring in over $1 million in revenue. And she says it honestly saved her tush. She was so thrilled. She was so proud of herself. I mean, you should have seen her face. I actually met her later at a seminar, and she came up to me and she's like, oh my God. And her face looked so bright, and she was so happy because it was her family, you know? So she was in the 3-month coaching program, and the reason she signed up was because she was going to change her family situation. That's what she decided.
Those are obviously crazy, kind of cool stories, but I got a lot of these kind of stories. So I know myself that the tools work, and I just wanted to share a couple of those. If any of you guys are doubtful, or you got some little block in your mind trying to take you off your abundant course, I want to give you enough of a reality check to basically say you don't have anything to lose. There's just only freedom and abundance and fun and a better life to gain. The thing that actually just totally inspires me more than anything in the world is when people, that part of them that just lights up and that you know there's way more possible than I was currently living. That's what I love more than anything.
This isn't going to be your everyday home training program, I promise you. As a psychic and a healer, my gift is working with people's energy fields, and during each session, I use a series of techniques that allow me to address these issues. And I create this mold of this perfect energy template that has already been liberated from the specific abundance block that we're targeting. So if we're clearing that you have to work hard, I'm putting a mold on you that basically just goes kaboom, and it blasts open all the places that you feel like you have to work hard so you can work easy. The result is instant energetic transformation, little or no effort on your part. You just have to open to receive it. It will leave your mind and your body feeling absolutely rejuvenated. And the beauty of these techniques is that it works perfectly even through audio recordings. Most of my clients who experience this listen to them over and over again because they were so amazing. In fact, most of my clients who experienced the best results were long distance ones. You'll get an exclusive selection of my most powerful energetic tools. And over the years, I've developed and perfected dozens of energetic tools that can easily and quickly spark profound changes in anyone, and I mean anyone's energetic frequency. You're going to get transformational results. I mean, at the end of the day, either something works or it doesn't work, and this stuff works. 400 people took part in the original Unlimited Abundance Journey, and a huge majority of them have reported massive positive improvements. I get those emails, hundreds of them, and they were like, oh my God. I mean, literally, it's profound. On top of the thousands of already successful clients I've worked with, I know, and and I'm so confident that you're going to experience these results too. I've worked with thousands of clients very successfully throughout the years, so I'm completely confident that you're going to experience these results too. Otherwise, I really wouldn't even offer it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I strongly believe that the more fun you have, the quicker your abundance is going to show up. And so I make it fun, I make it high vibration, and you're not going to want to miss this. I just want everybody to really get that at the end of the day, you get an embodied level of abundance. You basically embody the abundance instinct. So imagine, that you can wake up in the morning and you say, hey, I want to invest in my money. And you can follow the instinct that's going to guide you to the greatest and most profitable investment. I make you guys feel good about profit. So you're not going to have all these hard financial decisions, these I don't knows, these I don't care, all these blocks. Like, we blow through all your I don't knows, I don't care, I don't know what to do, and give you the instinct, the embodiment of abundance. What I just want to say is this is important, because if you're blocked now, if you're 30, 40, 50 years old and you're blocked now with your abundance, you're still could be potentially blocked for 20, 30, 40, 50 more years. I mean, seriously, like, who wants to live like that? And the planet's upgrading, and the planet and your soul are going to kick you in the tush until you start clearing your stuff. That's just what I've noticed. Everybody has probably had some experience of the speeded up energy kind of bringing all their stuff to them. And I've seen amazing things happen when people liberate themselves from these blocks. And everybody from all walks of life. In this course, I had a welfare mom get off of welfare, okay? And I had people who are millionaires who did the course. So it can affect positively everybody in a really cool way. The most important thing is I'm just so proud of everybody for choosing it. And I know what's going to happen for you. I truly know that you're going to be so different, and you're going to be like, holy crap, this really worked. Something finally worked for me. Because that's kind of the emails that I get. People go, I tried all these other things and da-da-da and da-da-da and this worked. Why not manifest your own inspiring success story? I mean, try out the Unlimited Abundance Home Training Program and, just really let me help you. I want to help you.
Just want to send many blessings to you all. My biggest intention for you is that you follow whatever the highest version of yourself is.